Well, so good afternoon, guys. I'm sorry I'm filming a little bit far from the camera today. I just want to show you guys over the last year or so, we've been doing this YouTube thing for a while now, and I think I started off with this shelf and a gurney, and then ever since then I've just been collecting stuff, getting a toolbox, getting a whole bunch of other stuff sorted, and now we have so much crap. But not only that, I'll quickly show you guys something. So this right here has been my toolbox for the last 2 years. Started off with not having tools in any of the drawers, and I literally just put one socket set in here, and I thought I was top notch. You know, I had all these crazy tools, which I thought was awesome. But yeah, now she's filled to the brim where sometimes stuff doesn't even shut. And it's been a good toolbox, but I've completely outlived it. And I was going around to see if I could find something a little bit different. And if you guys don't know, my parents, my mum and dad and little brother live over in America. And so, although it's pretty hard to actually see them every now and then, they get really cheap stuff over there. So today, unfortunately, we are saying goodbye to old faithful red toolbox that doesn't want to go straight backwards. And we are saying hello. One second. To Harbor Freight Toolbox. So as I said, my parents live over in America, and if you guys don't know, Harbor Freight over there is actually they have some pretty insanely cheap tools. When I went over there, most of the stuff was pretty much what, it's a 75% off sale when you go over to the States. You know, what would normally cost you around about $2,000 for a toolbox over here would probably set you just under $1,000 over in America. It's absolutely awesome for them, but for us it sucks. My dad's been collecting a few car parts for his cars over there, as well as just getting a heap of tools so he can finish off his XBs when he gets back to Australia. But he also sent over a toolbox with him as well. He knows that I've been outgrowing mine for a while. Every single time I talk to him, I come downstairs and I show him all the stuff that we've got. I guess we'll start getting into getting out of the box. This thing is so heavy. I honestly think it's got tools in it, but we'll find out. Oh my god, these things are so freaking heavy. So yeah, guys, this right here is the new toolbox. This is a US General. I've never heard of the brand before. Yeah, it is insanely heavy. So this one here, this bottom piece is 85 kilos. But it's the quality of it is freaking awesome. It has all these nice little soft closed drawers and everything. This one here, as I said, is 85 kilo. This one right here, the box and everything is 85 kilo. And I think this one over here was something 50 something kilo, but I can't, the box is somewhere out there. But yeah, whoa, we've even got an ADM bug. That's sick. There we go, I bet this bug loves friggin' Dodge Hellcats, right? But yeah, anyway, this is absolutely huge. And look at it in comparison to my old toolbox. So this is twice as deep and probably about a little bit further wide, and it's about as tall as it is my old toolbox. And this one right here is this is supposed to go on top. And check this out. It's got gas struts. None of my cars have gas struts, and this toolbox freaking has gas struts. That's freaking epic. They also come with a whole heap of keys as well, which I think I'm going to be able to use. Oh man, that is freaking dope. Alright, let's see if I can get this thing out of the box and place it up. So just quickly, the fact that this came with metric screws from America is actually kind of funny, not gonna lie. Oh my god. This thing is freaking monstrous. It looks just standard for a a regular sort of mechanic, but for me, this thing is too nice. Unfortunately, we did have a little bit of an issue with packaging. I didn't actually notice that. but when it was shipped over, it must have had a little bit of a ding at the bottom there. But apart from that, this thing is freaking sick. So I kind of pushed all the rubbish out the way and kind of like, yeah, I kind of locked myself out of it already. The keys are somewhere there. I had to lock it up. So the keys must be down there somewhere. But anyway, yeah, I'm stoked. Like, this is absolutely amazing. Could not have pictured anything better. It's so crazy deep. Like, I'm so happy. I'm so freaking stoked at this. So yeah, I guess gotta go try and find the keys, and then we can get rid of everything out of this old toolbox here. Oh, that's so sad. It's actually so freaking tall. Like, this is my eye line, okay? Like, I can barely see in that top level there. So I don't think much is going to be going in there. But also another thing we need to do is we also need to decorate this thing with stickers. Because unfortunately we're going to lose all the stickers that are on my old box. But I've had a whole heap saved up over the past couple of months. So unfortunately we are going to lose my my Suck Dicks Racing, my HKS sticker. We're also going to be losing us. I have a whole heap of those Sunoco ones. Sammet's unemployed sticker. I'm pretty sure I have another Sammet sticker lying around as well. Modified Castle in Australia, Sid Chrome, Ants, Mighty Car Mods, my old April sticker from my first Falcon. So yeah, there's a few stickers that we're going to lose, but we're going to gain so much more space. This thing is freaking nuts! Must admit that cube pad looks pretty good on top, color matching. So yeah, anyway guys, let's start stacking in some tools. Okay, so this thing is honestly so big that I have actually not put anything in the top. So I got like specialty tools. I got like, I'm gonna put all my air compressor bits and stuff like that in there. Then we have all like the goops and stuff. Haven't even used that top one yet, but I got screwdrivers, random miscellaneous things, all my spanners and ratchet spanners. So this one's my favorite drawer so far. All of my sockets, all those Sid Chrome sets, pliers and stuff like that. Like I can't even fill it up. Like, and then we got hammers and stuff like that, because I had to get like some deeper drawers. Everyone needs one of these drawers in their life. Although this isn't obviously ideal, but we'll work that out eventually. All the electronic stuff is going to go in there, and nothing so far. So like, pretty much this thing is entirely empty, and we have managed to stock it up into like less than half of this, which I'm stoked. So the only issue is now is the fact that this is actually so wide that I won't be able to park the RX-7 in here whilst this is in here on this side. So, or whilst it's against the wall. So I'm gonna move this massive big thing right here. Gonna put that all the way against the end wall down here, I think. It's gonna be the best way to go about that. And then these two tables I'm gonna put up right beside there. So hopefully that should cover most of this wall here. We'll have the walkway perfect, and then the toolbox can go down the very end here. So I think that's where I'm gonna work it all out at the moment. Yeah, it's massive, so we're gonna have to try and find a place to put it, so crazy. Alrighty, so 15 minutes into, I'm just gonna swap my tools between my two toolboxes. Yeah, so I'm just gonna quickly swap my two tools between my toolboxes. The entire garage is being rearranged. It's the only way that I'm going to make it work with the new toolbox without it being way too close. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to like really swing the RX-7 over as far as possible so I don't hit the mirror on the corner of the thing there. But it's a lot nicer than the Falcon. The Falcon would not have fit in here, which means Max cannot fit in this side of the garage. So yeah, anyway, the RX-7 will be fine in here. It's a really small car and I can still easily get around it, and every single time I have to back it up the driveway anyway, so I can just open my door this way, so that's fine. There won't be much room down the side here, but that's okay. We'll deal with this. Yeah, I don't even know where to start. That's all rubbish. That can all go. Far out. Alrighty guys, so around about 2 hours later, the entire garage is now finished. I am stoked. Man, I really take this place for granted. Like, especially all over the world, especially even looking at like Sammet's warehouse and stuff like that. Like, he was doing work on the side of his road, and like, I'm just so fortunate that I have even just this half a garage right here. And then also the driveway, like, yeah, I mean, I'm stoked that I could just even have these two things, to be honest. So yeah, like to now look at my garage and actually be proud of everything that's in here. I'm really stoked. I had a lot more stuff than I thought. I was like just randomly thinking before, I'm like, man, I used to look up to my dad and how many things he had in his shed. And like, I was never given any like hand-me-down tools. I think I might have like 1 or 2 sockets of dad's that I brought back down from Gladstone when I had the NA Falcon. But yeah, like everything else I've just sort of collected over years and stuff like that. And I'm just like so proud now that, you know, I don't know, it's weird. I'm happy that I have like a whole big bunch of spray paints and a whole big bunch of like cleaning products and, you know, random things as well. And you know, this is the thing that I'm honestly most proud of. I now have enough bolts to make a complete random bolt drawer, and I'm so happy. Look at all these random bolts. Like, I used to look up to anyone who had like a random bolt drawer because that means you worked on cars. So I feel like I've worked on cars now. So happy. So yeah, I've still got a whole bunch of stuff up on the workbench, like a whole bunch of the carbon stuff. Like the actual carbon fiber like cap actually turned out super nice. So we're gonna keep working at that. But yeah, no, I'm actually really stoked as to how the rest of the sort of bench is gone. How the rest of the bench is going. I'm gonna keep like sort of consolidating stuff and putting everything up against stuff, and yeah, I don't know, just it is still a little bit messy, but it's sort of like organized mess. There's just stuff where it kind of needs to go. Everything will go back eventually, so yeah, but I'm stoked. I can see my back wall now. That's so weird. Let's see how close it is getting this car back in the garage. It's going to be a little bit hairy, I could imagine. Actually pretty stoked, not gonna lie. That's wicked. I did have to move over a fair bit, like sort of reverse in that way, but oh well. Dude, it looks so good. I'm so happy. Alright, so everything's all cleaned up, everything looks amazing. It's been a couple of hours and I'm stoked. I've just been sort of sitting down here once again in the FD and just, I don't know, I'm feeling real good. I just edited the whole video you guys would have seen 2 days ago with Xavier and Rise to Slide, doing the drifting and all that sort of stuff. That was heaps of fun, so I don't know, I'm kind of like, I'm in a really good mood and I'm just, you know, I'm just chilling and yeah, but I remember a couple of days ago on Instagram, I asked you guys if you guys had any questions about any of my cars. So I'm going to quickly go through all of those right now. I thought it'd be easier to do it on a video than what it would be on Instagram. By the way, if you guys don't follow me on Instagram, I'll put it in the description. But I am just ZacBaldy on Instagram, so you can go check that out. Okay, so we'll get to the R33 first. You guys wanted to know some stuff about the R33, so let's have a quick scroll through and see what you guys asked. So AU Car Scene has asked how much power is it making and what's been done to it. So the whole idea for the car was to try and keep it really simple, and even though it blew out of proportion a little bit, it's actually kind of cool at the moment. So we're running with a Link G4X in at the moment on a stock RB25 rebuild. It's got a max speeding rods turbo. It also has a like a cheap Chinese forward-facing plenum, like a Grady copy. And then we also have a pretty baller fuel system in it. So it's currently running Bosch 1000cc's with a 460 fuel pump, so the fueling is well up to it, which is awesome. But yeah, car's making about 270 at the moment, horsepower that is, at the rear wheels, and yeah, car's been great so far. So I don't think it's actually let me down at any of the tracks so far, apart from grip racing, where I ended up doing that cam gear. But apart from that, we're all good to go. So hopefully Matsuri, fingers crossed, we should be sweet. So we've got another question here about the max pitting rods turbo. So the turbo is actually great. Obviously it does need a little bit of work to, you know, sort of hold up to itself performance-wise. You know, porting is definitely a must, but for the price that it is, and you know, for the fact that it's lasted me almost, I think almost a year or so now, it has been awesome. You know, the turbo's been great, I love it. And it sounds freaking cool too, especially with that massive big stainless toe pipe that we have. When are you going to be putting on a 6-boost manifold and a proper turbo? So, This is where I'm kind of hung up at the moment. So the car basically desperately needs a dump pipe. To make any more power, we need to increase that exhaust flow. So dump pipe, better turbo, and also better manifold. So I think at the moment I'm really trying to focus on the FD and trying to get this thing on the road, because like, what's the point of having an FD if you can't drive it? And you know, I know you guys have been waiting for me to do a little bit of a hill thingy thing where I take this up on the hill. So yeah, I'm really wanting to get this thing up the mountain. I just want to take it to the track. I want to do so many things with it, but this thing is what's been taking all my money recently. So unfortunately, while the R33 is working and the RX-7 isn't, I want to put my money into the RX-7 to get that thing working before we put money back into the 33. I really want this year to one of my goals this year is to make that car around about that 400 horsepower mark. And externally gated is definitely going to be a big thing. After Matsuri, I'm going to take out the bucket seat. I'm going to put a stock R33 seat back into it. And then we're also going to be changing up the exhaust as well, so it's not as drony. So it's going to be a little bit nicer to drive on the highway, especially because it's my new daily. And then also we're going to be putting a screamer pipe on it, so that way we can be loud when we want to, we can be nice and quiet when we want to. So it's going to be really nice. And I'm not going to sell the bride seat that's currently in it. I'm just going to keep that, so that way when I go to car events I can put that in and I can change out to the stock seat as well. So it's win-win. Why is she so sexy? Because you guys see it on a camera, you don't see it in person. Barra swap. There is so many messages about barra swapping. I'll tell you what guys, okay. I've honestly thought, you guys made it this far in the video and you're watching a kind of boring-ish video, so you guys may as well hear it. I have pledged myself that if anything ever happens to that Skyline or that RB25 in that Skyline, I really want to do my best to barra swap it. I don't know, I just feel like putting oil pump gears in a stock barra and then just sending it on the track. It'd be real torquey. You could put a big turbo on it and make decent power stock. Like you could easily make that thing like 600 horsepower, and you know, even 400 in that thing with a barra would just be immense. So much torque. So, you know, it'll take a little bit to fit, but I 100% reckon that if we ever do run into issues with the 25, a barra swap would be a wicked swap for that car. And you guys will love it. We have probably one of the biggest barra channels on YouTube, and we don't even have a barra anymore. So 100% I want to get back into a barra one day, but at the moment, you know, I'm pretty happy. Is the forged engine still on the cards? I've had a thought about it, and like, you know, the fact that you can forge an engine and I would be still worried about having RB problems after I forge it and get everything sorted for it, when I could literally use that money and do a barra swap, which is, you know, probably get me business-wise a better return. So plus it'd probably be around about the same price, you know, to forge an RB25 versus get a gas engine, get a, you know, standard turbo and everything else as well. It'd probably be around about the same price. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Estimate how much money you put into it, including buying it. So I could estimate I'd probably put around about $15,000 to $20,000 in that car, and I could imagine it'd probably return that price. Like if I went to go sell it like tomorrow, I honestly think I could get between 18 to 22,000. I bought it for 3.5. Let's keep that in mind. But it was rough. It was a really rough car. Do I ever think of getting a different body kit for it? 100% I do. There is a body kit that I think JSAI or something along those lines have, but it's like a PS Juice body kit. Looks really cool. Kind of reminds me of like S14 Kalki or something like that. So I don't know, potentially we might be able to get that, but I don't know, we'll see. It's only like $800 for the full kit, so it's pretty cheap, but once again, painting it, doing everything else as well. I don't know, we'll see how we go. A lot of people asking me when I'm gonna drift it. It's going to Matsuri. As much as I would love to be able to drift the crap out of this thing at the moment, there's a few things holding me back. One, financially, going to drift events is very, very expensive. I really hope to get to more now that I have this casual job as well, which has been really cool. I've still been able to make videos every second day. It's been a little bit hairy, but we've been able to get videos out every single second day, which is awesome. It's a little bit costly, I'm not gonna lie, to get to drift events, but I really want to go drift it more often. You know, going to Archerfield isn't that really too big of an ask for the car. It can definitely handle it, but the only issue is that, you know, if something does happen, I need to have backup plans so I can get, you know, here, there and everywhere. And at the moment, I don't really know anyone well enough that I can just quickly get a trailer, or, you know, I don't know. So we'll see. I had, you know what, really funny actually? 9 trailers last year, I'm pretty sure. Since I started the YouTube channel, I've been on 8 or 9 trailers, which is kind of scary. So this is the biggest one, selling or keeping. Like, oh man, I don't know. The thing is, right, you could build, like, I know it'd be a little bit different, but if I was to build a Falcon drift car, I honestly think that I would be able to get more seat time and I'd feel more comfortable behind that because I know that chassis a lot more. I know that engine a lot more. I know that it's more modern. I know that it's more reliable. Literally, if I sold up that Skyline right there, I would be able to buy a pretty decent, or be able to make a pretty decent Falcon drift car. I would honestly want to do like a BA, or a BF Ute, and just make that into like a really cool track car. But the issue is I really love that Skyline. I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know. You guys watching right now, you guys will probably hate me for saying this, but one of the sole reasons why I sold the Falcon was because it just ended up, you know, I was doing the same thing every single day. It wasn't a manual, and the car just didn't sound cool. Like, I was driving it every day. I could drive it anywhere I wanted to, and there was just, like, it was fun, but it scared me, and it was just, I don't know, it was just, I just fell out of love with that car. And going into that Skyline with how ratty and old and just how everything goes, I honestly really enjoyed driving it while the Falcon was down. It was just fun. It was just really fun to drive. And so once I got the Falcon back on the road, we paid $5,000 for that transmission. It was kind of just like, I don't know, I just fell out of love with that car. So that's why we sold it. And the Skyline I really love. So far it's been able to hold up to like all the track events we've been going to, and you know, it's been pushing me to breaking point. Like, you know, there's things to be fixed, there's things to do this, but there's always something going on with that car, and I'm really happy it's around. It's a really fun car to drive, it's manual, it sounds pretty cool, and like, I don't know, it's just like, it's one of those cars that I use as a tool, and I can beat the crap out of it without caring too much if I broke it. I care a little bit at the moment because it's my daily, but most of the time, like when I had the Falcon, I didn't really care too much about the car. Like, I don't know, it was fun. Why does it look different to other 33s? It's got a mixed match of body panels and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure it's got like a GTR bonnet, and then it has like a GDR like little thing with a Series 2 front bumper, and I don't know. There's a lot of weird mixes of things that have gone on the front of it, and I'm not quite sure exactly what it is, but I don't know. Okay, so that's pretty much it, everything for the R33. Let's quickly jump over to the RX-7 now, which I think you guys had a lot more oh yes, you did. There's a lot of questions here. Which car do I prefer, the RX-7 or the R33? I will admit, at the moment, I prefer the R33 because I'm not constantly watching the temp gauge. I know that car is going to always work. I know that this car at the moment will work eventually. This car, in general, is my dream car. And at the moment, I'm not digging the silver, I'm not digging the wheels, I'm not digging the bonnet, the way that it looks, all carbon. It looks really odd to me. It's definitely not a way that I would build the car, but there's things that are going to happen eventually that I know will make me fall in love with this car. It's a little bit rough. As I said, once again, $50,000 is one of the cheaper FDs in Australia. But yeah, it will get there. How many Ks are on the car at the moment? So it's currently got 66 to 67,000 Ks on it. What's my fastest car at current time? This thing right here is the fastest one I own. I have a dyno sheet for 400 horsepower, but it's not making 400. I think it's roughly making around about 300 to 320 or so. The Skyline's currently making 270. This feels way faster than the Skyline, but also it weighs a little bit less also. And the second turbo kicks in a lot harder than what the Skyline one does. The Skyline hits harder low, this one hits harder up high, so yeah. Haven't got any noise complaints yet. No, the Falcon was the only car I ever had a noise complaint in, and it was the quietest car I own. This is horribly loud. Why do both my cars have the same wheels? I literally like put my RX-7 wheels on my R33 when I go do like track events and drifting, and you know, just go out and I want to drive big distances, because I had some really bad tires on the 33. Now I have good tires on the 33 and they're a little bit different, but yeah, these are 17 by 9 Koei Drift-X, and the ones on the 33 are 18 by 9.5 Drift-X. So they're very similar. Actually, the exact same wheel design, just a little bit different. But I do have a set of T's coming for these, which I'm very excited for. How many pistons does it have? It currently has 6, an inline, double inline 3. So yeah, the way that it's sort of, it's pretty cool. But I really want to add an extra cylinder on the back of each one. So it's going to be like a double inline 4, which is going to be pretty cool. The 8 cylinders, like 8-cylinder rotaries sound so much better than 6-cylinder rotaries, not going to lie. How does one afford it? You sell up every asset you have. I did. No, I'm not even lying, guys. Like, a lot of people have asked me how I afforded this car, and to be honest, I wanted it so badly that nothing else mattered to me. It's another reason why I fell out of love with the FG. It's just, I really needed something different, and this has been my all-time dream car, and when I get my mind fixated on something like that, even if it happens overnight, I do everything in my power to try and get that car. I knew financially it was going to be a good decision, even though it was really expensive. The fact that these have gone up in price so much, I know that they're not going to go down anytime soon. This was 50 grand. It's a lot more expensive than what it was 3 years ago, and I can guarantee you, when I tell people that I bought this thing for 50 grand in 3 years, they're going to go, holy crap, that was so cheap. But like, I know that the fact that this car isn't going to go down in value. It's an RS version, it's got low-ish Ks, so I'm really happy with a fresh Bridgeport build. Hopefully it's going to be nice and tasteful with modifying and stuff like that. So I'd like to hope that if I ever do sell this car, which I never hope I do, if I ever do sell this car, I know it's going to be worth the money. I feel better about modding it, I feel better about painting it, I feel better about spending money, I feel better about the upkeep. So yeah, I literally sold a lot of stuff that I had. I sold the Falcon, I sold a few little things that I had lying around. I sold, well, I'm still selling stuff to try and fund it. So yeah, even like the XR8 bonnet I had for the BA, I sold that off. The RC cars, I sold them off. Sold off my old phone, sold off a whole lot of other stuff that I honestly just had lying around and just didn't realize. So that's another reason why I got this car. I literally sold as much as I could, got down to like bare minimum. Like the only thing I owned was everything in this garage in the R33, and then I bought this. You can sleep in a race car, but you can't race a house. Pretty sure that's what that thing is. What's my horsepower goal for the end of it? It's 400 horsepower. I don't want to go anything crazy. It's a crazy light car. I want it to be nice, solid, single turbo, 400 horsepower, but it has to sound good. Otherwise, it's going to be like the Falcon where I don't care. So that's why the Bridgeport's in it. That's why I'm going to go single turbo. That's why I'm going to T51R mod the single turbo. Like, it's going to be freaking mint when we get this thing sorted. Still tossing up external gate though, because rotaries sound great up high, but I don't know, like, external gate's going to be nuts. And the fact that I'm going to have to hit external gate every single time I drive it is going to be pretty hard, especially where I live. So it's going to be, yeah, I don't know yet. Have you decided yet on a color? Yes. Still don't know whether I'm going to get it wrapped or painted just yet, but I really want to get it painted eventually. When are you going to let Sarah drive it? Well, for one, Sarah has a manual license. She doesn't really know how to drive manual that well, and she hates the car. Well, she loves it, but she will never drive this thing. Are you able to transport it overseas when you move? Yes. This thing was sold in New Zealand at Placido's. If it's an American asking this question, we don't have any like import laws for Australia or New Zealand. So, or well, any crazy laws like you do. So we can basically, I can take this over to New Zealand if I travel there or move there. Same as the R33, same as every other car that I've owned. So yeah, it's pretty simple. Are you going to switch up the interior? Yes, I am going to switch up the interior. Eventually I want to get some seats done, like reupholstered, completely done. So they'll be a little bit different to what they are at the moment. Plus I want to change out some of their floor mats and stuff like that. I want to get a steering wheel, and yeah, I really want to get, I don't know whether I want to reupholster the 90 wheel that comes with them because it has the airbag, whether I want to get a different like racing wheel, but I think I'm going to get a leather, like perforated leather racing wheel as well, not an Alcantara one that's in the 33 because it's starting to get like really weird and stuff. Can you drive from one side of Brizzy to the other without cooking it yet? No, not yet. However, as I said in the previous videos, V-mount is coming. It's going to take around about a month or so to get here. It's due to arrive with Jesse Streeter late mid-March-ish. So then he'll send it over to me. It's usually around about a week or so turnaround from him over there in Japan to here. So fingers crossed, by my birthday, we should be sweet to take this out for a drive. And also my birthday is the day that we are supposed to get the wheels as well, so that's going to be a great month. Do you miss the Falcon? I miss the fact that I could drive it everywhere I wanted to. But if I owned it still, I wouldn't have this. And if I owned it still, I would still be driving it like a grandma. So no, I don't miss it, to be honest. Are you gonna drift the RX-7? No, but I really wanna track this thing. I really wanna track this car at QR. Do I have a picture on how I want the RX-7 to eventually look? Yes, I will show you guys on camera for a very quick little second, and then I will never show you guys again. Unless you guys come out to a live stream, which is kind of fun. We have live streams every now and then. This is how I want the car to look. Would you sell the RX-7 for another car? If so, what'd you really sell it for? There's no other car, to be honest, that I would want apart from this. Like, I had fascinations about FPVs, GTs and stuff like that, but none of them came close to this thing. I think it's cool, and just like being able to sort of grapple weight lights, like you can, it just sounds cool while going slow. I'm a pretty cruisy guy. Like I just want to cruise in this thing. I don't feel like going fast. You know, I'm here for the experience, I'm here for the ride, and that's why I love this thing so much. Like, every other car, I feel like for me, I would have to drive fast to enjoy it. This one here is the only car that needs to be driven fast but you can also cruise and you can enjoy it as well, and that's why I love the RX-7. And even though I've been able to experience it for a very limited time, I'm pretty happy with it. Do I plan a single turbo this car in the future? Yes, 100% I do. I really want to work on everything else about this car first though. Like, before I chuck more power in, actually, to be honest, it's probably going to help out with cooling, which is going to be the biggest benefit of this whole single turbo thing, hopefully. But yeah, I have a V-mount coming. If the V-mount sorts everything out, then, you know, if it doesn't, then we might have to look into other things like potentially redoing the engine. Potentially there may be a bigger issue with the engine that we need to address. Potentially we might need to go single turbo. So yeah, single turbos cut down a lot of the heat in the engine bay, because obviously you have the two twins there and they're like insanely hot. There's a lot going on down there. There is like a lot of 90s technology that's going on down there, and I have no idea. Yeah, it's a shambles down there, but single turbo really cleans up the whole thing, and there's a lot of space around it, really cleans up the engine bay and gets rid of a lot of the heat. So that could be another thing we're going to be doing. But depending on how the V-mount goes, which I'm pretty sure with the twins, the V-mount will be fine. We're either going to paint the car or we're going to do a single turbo. So yeah, we'll see. James Nolan asked, when is it going to James Nolan's house? When I get the V-mount. It's coming down there, boy. And David and Marcus both asked, when are we shooting? We are 100% going to be shooting this thing very, very soon. I really want to make... I still haven't even properly introduced this thing to the channel because we haven't even driven it yet. Once this V-mount goes in, I really want to take it up through the mountains. I really want to do a nice, big, long shoot with this thing. It's going to be awesome, and I just want to cruise with it. It's going to be heaps of fun. So anyway, guys, that pretty much sums up everything about the two cars. I hope you guys like the garage. I'm super stoked with it, and just like, I don't know, my whole dream's coming together. I've been trying to work so hard towards, you know, what I have at the moment, and I'm stoked with the outcome. Still trying to push to what makes me happy. These two cars make me happy, and I'm still trying to push every day, so I'm pretty stoked. Anyway, thank you so much, guys, for your support and, you know, coming out to the whole thing today. I appreciate it. This video is probably going to be a little bit longer than usual, so a massive thank you for that. And I will see you guys in the video in 2 days' time. See yous. Peace.